Hi, Welsh Metals here. Today I'll be stripping some heavy gauge copper cable for some instant profit. This is the most common type I have. It's tri-core heavy gauge. It has two sheaths on it, which will need to be removed, and you'll need a special tool for that. Here's that special tool, copper cable stripping rig. As you can see, it's quite simple design. It's made from machine milled, CNC milled aluminium, and has a razor blade placed within here. Try and zoom in on that, and you will feed the cable through one of these holes and it de-sheaths it. So here we have some zinc coated copper wire. This stuff's still quite valuable, got about half a kilo here. This is all out of power supply wire, out of PSUs, power supply units. And here's the heavier gauge stuff. This is obviously quite pure. It's not like the other stuff. Now, the reason for doing this over burned is you'll increase the value of the copper by about 15% over burned copper wire, and about 30% over standard. So strip some of this. Here's that power supply wire I was on about. You can also find this stuff in other electronics, microwaves and such. It's not too thick a gauge. In fact, it's the smallest. So just thread it through there like that. Not that much. Pliers. I'm going to pull it through steadily, like that. Now there should be a break inside of the wire now, where I can pick it open. There we go, see that? Now we can get to the zinc coated copper wire underneath. This stuff can shred your hands up, so it's good to have some gloves. But I've been doing this for literally weeks, so my hands are already pretty shredded. It's all the copper wire there. Just peel the sheath off now. Really is that simple with this tool. A good tool to have for stripping copper cable. You can do it with just a pure razor blade, but it will shred your hands infinitely more. So let's do this big heavy gauge stuff next. I have absolutely massive amounts of that. For that I will need to change this blade, because the blade needs to be onto this hole here in order to de-sheath it, and then back again the other way to this, the second hole. The reason for that is because the thickness of the wire itself, the gauge, it's quite thick. Just place that in there like so, with the blade overlapping a good distance. Can be tricky due to the bolt which is in the way on the middle section. No, a bit more forward, not enough. There we go. That should do. To tighten this up enough. Blade is off angle, so I'll have to correct that anyway. There we go. Just simply tightening it up. sometimes when you pull the thicker stuff through, it can actually pull the blade completely off the cable rig. Done it a few times. It's most annoying because then you have to set that all over again. It's fun. So, strip this tri-core thick gauge stuff. As I said, the reason for doing this is it increases the value of the wire quite a bit. With this same, you just push it through, or pull through the other side once you've got enough through of the wire or cable. Ooh. It's not immediately obvious, the cut, so you have to break it open a little bit. There we go. A nice copper bar in the middle, as you can see. There are actually 3 pieces in here, as I said. It's tri-core copper cable. This is the stuff commonly used in household electronics. So it's quite high ampage that it can handle. A little bit more stuck on the side there, that can happen when the cable gets twisted or dry. So there we have it, some. I'll do the inner core in a sec, the other 2. Oops. Quite shiny. So this stuff next, the last. Shouldn't take long. Let's do that. Just untighten the bolts that I previously tightened. Ooh, that one's gone there quite a bit. Done a bit too tight. Looks like I'll have to break out the other pliers. Now, I'll be using the second hole. Now, that's the second one. Don't want the blade to be too much protruding into the hole. You only want it to scour the sheath. You don't want it to rip into the middle of the core, otherwise it'll just kink and jam. Done that before, as I said. All that'll do is rip the blade straight out of the rig. These only cost about £10 on eBay. Or you can make them yourself if you've got a machine room. You can see the design is quite simple. That's that done. Should be able to strip this stuff now. Yep, there we go. Same routine as last time. Except this stuff is more like silicone sheath, so it's actually quite easier to remove the plastic or whatever it is, glue type stuff. Another piece. Makes this cable much better. Melts and resail. Or resail for melting. As it's just above scrap value, I'd say, with this, due to the fact it's being cleaned. Okay. There we go, all done. So, quite good results. Doesn't take very long, even for the thicker stuff, and produces very, very clean looking wire. Ooh, cut myself there. Again. So it is quite sharp also. Very, very shiny, as you can see. Add that to the pot. About just under 1 kilogram here, and just under half a kilogram in that one. So, most effective tool. Definitely worth buying one. So have a quick look at that again. And that's the part that it was stripping on. As you can see, it's only about 20%, 30% into the hole, maybe a little bit more. And it was with this one, it was most of the way into there in order to strip this stuff. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. There are also other thicker gauge cables, like this stuff, which is multi-core. You can see there's several different pieces of copper within each of the left and right channels. One large piece in the middle. Quite a bit of this also. It will probably be a nightmare to strip. Then we have your mains cable, or things like household kettles and such. That stuff's braided. That's like the loose stuff, like that, as opposed to thick single core. So we got a braided type within there. That's from mains wire. And the same for that one. Yeah. Braided copper wire. That's not zinc coated though, that stuff. Whereas this much smaller gauge wire is. As you can see what gauge that is, it actually says on it, 18 AWG. So, not too thick. And this stuff has that zinc coated wire within it. So, capable of stripping a good variety of copper wire. In order to produce nice shiny results. Well, so the next video